head cut off, that's fine. So we're going to be down right to the very back. And then I want you to get your feet underneath your hips, spread your toes so that you feel grounded. Take your weight equally onto both sides so you're not just pressing your weight over to one side, which is what we naturally do. And I want you to stop on your knees, let your arms sink, look down towards your toes, let your chin drop to your chest in a way that stretches out your neck. And I want you to inhale, feel your shoulders slightly lifting. As you exhale, feel them just dropping down and lowering your chin a little bit more. So your upper back curves a little bit more. Then do that again. Inhale. And then exhale, let your arms drop, let your chin drop a little bit more. Now we're going to curve a little bit more. Inhale. Soften the knees a little bit more. Exhale, roll a couple more inches. So we're just going to continue to do that. Rolling on the exhalation, allowing a little bit more give. Now scoop the belly in to tighten up through the abs to create a little bit more of a C shape through the spine as you roll. Your weight will start to go to your heels, so just be aware of that and take them forward. And by now your hands should be by your knees. We're just making our way all the way down until we come to a completely hanging forward motion. So some of you may not have your hands on the ground, some of you may just have your hands resting on the ground, but let them rest, don't lean into them, just let them be like a floppy weight, and all your weight stays in your feet. So if your hands happily drift onto the ground, take hold of your elbows. Now let's take one more deep breath here, we should all be down in a forward fold, and then a little sway side to side. So as you sway side to side, allow a little bit of give through the ankles, through the knees, through the hips. Just allow some fluidity through the body. Just allow yourself to just give a little bit more as you twist side to side. Just do another 2 each side. Keep breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. If it's difficult, you know, forward fold. Bring yourself back to center when you're ready. And then I want you to bring your fingertips to the floor. So bend your knees enough to get your hands down and then reach them beyond your shoulders. So I've now got a full extension through the arms. And I'm going to push my bottom away and lengthen my spine and try and take my eye gaze between my knees and collapse the chest a little bit lower. Now extend and bend your legs one by one. Keep leaning into your hands as your base. Have a look at the mirror if you can to get your spine a little bit more straighter and move your legs quite, you know, don't just move a little bit, really press, extend, move your body, lift your hip. 4 more. The heels on the floor. And then push both your legs as straight as possible, heels grounded. Melt your head and chest down. See if you can walk your fingers forward, but don't let your body go forward. Lengthen those knees, push them back. Feel that stretch. And then top of the knees, walk your hands back. Slide your hands together behind the base of your spine. We inhale, exhale, take a stretch forward, lifting those arms up and over, open out those shoulders. Lift, lift, lift. And then as we inhale, bring the hands back. And then scoot the belly to roll up slowly, slowly. Your hands can stay linked now. Oh, gosh. Feeling the gardening now. And then as you lift up tall, slide your hands down and just lift your chest, your eye gaze, and pull your shoulders back and down. So open out to the front a little bit more. And then release your arms, stand tall. So just make sure you've got your weight equal, look at your feet again, and then take them a little bit further, shoulder width apart, then a very subtle turn out to the corners of your mat. So you're not like that, it's very slightly turning out. Bring your arms behind you, squeeze your shoulder blades together, and then swing down, squat. Inhale at the top, squeeze back, exhale, drop. Inhale. If you wish, lift into your toes. Ooh, top. About 48, but clearly I can't balance. So we lift up tall, we sink nice and deep. And make sure as you pull up at the top, you pull your shoulders back to squeezing. Ooh, push back into your heels, lengthen your spine. And we want to come down to a 90-degree angle in the legs. Making sure those knees aren't going forward, lovely. And your knees follow the big toes. 3 more. Last one. Sink it down. Come all the way up. Take a shoulder roll. Take your right leg forward. Turn your hips forward. So I didn't close my legs any narrower. They stayed quite a wide stance, a bit wider than usual lunge actually. The toes at the front, again, try and keep that little bit of an angle out that way and make sure that knee follows. We don't want collapsing knees. Hands on hips to begin with. We inhale, we drop down. Ideally, tap the knee to the floor. You do not have to. Exhale straight back up. So the weight's going forward into that front heel. And the knee stays above the ankle. You stay beautifully upright through the spine. It's a good chance to use a mirror because what happens in lunges is we have a tendency to want to do this. That's fine if I tell you to. Put this thing up. 4 more. Woo. Falling. Good. Falling again. Last 2. Last one. So if you can tap that floor, lift it all the way back up. Take a breath at the top. Exhale, drop halfway or even lower. Little presses through that front leg. 7, 6. Go a little bit lower if you can. 4, 3. Now we are letting ourselves drop down to the ground. This is where you might want to lose one of your blocks. Depends how flexible you're feeling. So I'm going to grab mine. My hip flexors are ruined. I'm going to take both my hands onto that block. This foot's going out to the edge of my mat and I'm opening out. So you get a real nice opener in that leg. I'm going to slide my leg back a little bit tiny, a tiny bit more. And then just take a breath in, lift and lengthen up your spine and then bend your elbows and drop down. Now, some of you might be really flexible and can drop your elbows down quite happily. This knee is what you want to look at. This knee is open, stay above the ankle, and then you can rotate on the ankle if you wish. Don't let the knee be forward. So just bend, and as you bend down, lengthen. Eye gaze slightly forward. So you're trying to reach through the spine. Where should we feel that? Right hip flexor and left thigh. Here. I can feel it here, the left. Take your body weight forward. Drop down, 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 down. Take your hip with you. So come forward. Yeah. That's it. Okay, if you're on your elbows, come up onto your hands. Come up onto the block. Get the block positioned in the center of your mat. Tuck your toes under at the back. Lift and swing that leg back and come into plank. Now, if you want to take a slightly wider stance in the arms, you can take both blocks and take your arms a bit wider. We're going to take that right leg, tap it forward, swing it back for 1, 8 times. Forward, as far forward as it can come. 2, if you're struggling, come forward with the knee like that and pull back. 3. Yeah, so just drop down to there. 4. 5, get strong on those arms, squeeze your bellies. Back for 6, 2 more. This is a really good way to mobilize that hip. 1 more. Press it back and then drop down to your knees. Keeping your toes tucked under. Slide back into your heels, lengthen your arms. Using your block, you can get really deep in that stretch down the side of your back into your lower back. But keep your feet flexed so you're pressing into those toes. And roll it out. And sometimes your hands maybe to lengthen out through your spine. Pick up your second block for the next exercise we're going to do. And then take it to the side of your mat or your weight. Dumbbells to press on. So slide roll onto the fronts of your feet. Sit back into as far as you can, that child's pose again. We're going to take our eye gaze forwards. This is about range. This is working. These blocks allow us to go further. So actually easier to use a block than to use your hand. You can ditch the block if you want. We're going to roll up through the spine. As we drop down, we're going to extend our right leg, sink it down, lift it up, and pull it in and tuck it back. Repeat the same side. Come forward, sink down, press back up, pull it in. Right leg only at the moment. So you can feel yourself rolling a lot further, opening out through the shoulders, and then the power up is a little bit is less, not as far. When it may English actually. So it's a tiny bit easier. 4 more in your own time. Then you're through your breath. Fabulous techniques. Use your core. Roll your body weight forward, not down. That's it. Lovely. Of course, you can do this without that leg in the air. It's entirely up to you. When you've done your last one, come back up to hands and knees. Slide your right block slightly out to the side. Take your left block into the center. We're going to turn our bodies to face the right. So being high up on this block is a lot easier. You can get a lot more elevation through the side of the body. Take that arm at the top up towards the sky. Slide the hand behind the back of the head. Lift that right leg into a hover. Point the toe. Then turn the knee up towards the sky, bend it, and pull and go to an oblique crunch and kick the leg away. Press it up, crunch it in, push it away. Now, what I want you to work on here is opening your knee up towards the sky. This is mobilizing your hips. It's really important that you push that hip to turn up towards the sky, kneecaps to the ceiling. You're coming over the top and crunching, not crunching inwards. It's just a bit more challenging. Think about lifting the knee up and the elbow up and then meet at the top. 5 more. Squeeze your left butt cheek to stabilize a little bit more through the hip. Inhale. I promise you it's much easier on a block than it is without a block. Last 2. 1 more. Kick away. Now extend that arm and stretch the body. Now lift that leg up high and pulse it. Arm comes overhead, palm towards the floor. Press it, squeeze it. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and drop it down. Take a breath here. Turn yourself back onto your hands and knees. Taking that block wide to the mat. So now both my hands are wide. So we're going to go into push-ups with the left leg extending. So we sink back into our heels and we have that really big V shape through the arms. We lower our head and chest down. So we roll out of our heels, we come forward. As we drop down, the left leg extends. We push back up, it returns. Now the problem with doing push-ups with blocks is it actually almost makes you drop beyond the range you're meant to go. So we're still dropping our body weight to about the elbow crease. Better off going a little bit further forward as your body drops than going deeper into it. So think about just going another inch or so forward, your nose reaches the front of that mat, then power it up. Extend that left leg. You can do it with no legs extended, with both knees on the floor. If you're extending, think about the length, extension of the knee, bring it in. 4 more. And of course, you can do this with your knees off the floor if you're feeling really funky and strong. And when you've done that last one, just settle it back into your heels. Making that stretch through the arms, big V shape, reach the fingers forward, melt the head and chest down. Come up. Bring that right block into the center. Turn your body to the left. Set yourself up on the other side. The arm reaches out. Nice opener. And then make sure your whole body just comes forward. Squeeze your right butt cheek. Then bend the elbow, hand slides behind the back of the head. We lift the left leg into a hover. When you're ready, we come up and over and we squeeze and we meet at the top. Physically tell your body to lift up like you're doing a curve over the top of the body and meeting at the top. Please try not to do that. That's actually quite easy. Challenge your body. Do what it doesn't want to do. It's up for 8. Squeeze the right butt cheek. 7. Be strong on that right arm. 6. 5. 4. Come on, reach the elbows to knee. Go a little bit higher. 3. Last 2. One more. Big breath out. Then we pause. We take that arm, we reach it up and we take it overhead. Keep it strong, lengthen, and press that leg up and down. Squeeze that butt cheek. Come on, squeeze it up, higher, higher. Leg straight, 8, 7. Then let it drop to the floor, 5, 4, 3, last 2. One more. And then release the foot to the ground, release the arm. Bring it back around. Push the block to the side. And then carefully bring yourself to the floor. Bring your blocks in front of you. And then lengthen your arms and just reach your arms as straight as they would go, close to your ears, stretching. You'll feel a really nice stretch just at the top of your lats, which is basically where your tendons join. So pretty much a little bit here. Take your feet to the corners of your mat. Slide your fingertips to the temples. Right, we're going to make some arm circles. So the blocks there is your challenge to not let your arms drop low in the block levels. Don't touch the blocks unless, of course, you need to adjust. So we lift up for 1. We extend our arms forward for 2. We take a massive circle all the way around for 3. Palms face into the thighs. And then we lift everything up, squeezing the legs together. We release the legs and our circle comes back around. And then we bring our hands back to the temples and we release. So we lift up for 1. Extend the arms for 2. Circle all the way around for 3. Lift up and squeeze in 4. Release the legs for 5. Circle the arms all the way around for 6. Bring the fingers back for 7 and drop it down. If extending your arms is too much, start here and take them to a T. Then take them into that circle and then carry on with that, the rest of it. But on the return, you take your arms to a T again, back to the temples and release. So you're just reducing that forward motion range. A lot of backs just don't like having that lever forward because it has a lot more body weight. Try not to brush the blocks in front of you. Really try and get those arms really high up above. Lovely. And then back to the floor. You're not doing too many of these. You're going to do 3 more. Make them really strong. Now really squeeze those legs together as you lift the arms. The arms above your buttocks. Lovely. Squeeze the shoulder blades. All those back extensor muscles are fired up. Squeeze the belly, squeeze the butt. Strong in the legs. So we are coming to doing what, your last one, yeah? Let's all go together. Everyone lift up for 1. Lengthen those arms for 2. Circle all the way around and everyone lift and squeeze and go higher with that arm reach. Then release the legs. Circle the arms. Bring them back to the temples. And then release. Slide your hand to make a pillow. And then loosen up by swaying side to side through the hips. Let the body relax. Take your knees a little bit wider, almost as wide as the mat. Then bring your heels together, press your heels in. Flexing your feet. Try and relax the body, the upper body as much as you can. Abs on. When you're ready, squeeze the butt and lift your knees and thighs off the ground. And then release. Exhale up. Inhale down. Now, this is quite a funny exercise because this is a lot to do with your spine positioning. And if you've got quite a lordotic back like I have, my posture kind of sticks out, it's easier to get your legs up. Sway back postures hates this exercise, can barely get their knees off the ground. And what happens is your pelvis lifts and everything else stays on the floor. So you need to keep your hip bones and your kind of pubic bone pushed into the floor, and then lift the knees and the thighs and squeeze your butt as you press your heels together. Come on, get those legs up. Yay! And release. And this is one of those smiley face exercises. Yeah, do you remember the buttock smiley face? Everyone goes, what's that? Yeah. And you still don't know what it is, yeah? Or do you? Yeah. Cool. Get those buttocks smiling. Lovely.
I think it's all gone to my tummy. The smiley face.
4 more of these.
Stuff that comes out of your mouth. Oh, very wonky doing it. It is a bit hard, isn't it? Yeah, it's strange.
Last 2, come on, lift. Squeeze your weaker side if you can. Last 1, stretch that lower back. It's not very nice. And then release, let your legs drop. Take a breath here. And then very briefly, just bend your knees to here. And then let them just drop side to side like that. If you can, tap your feet side to side. Let your whole hips roll. Bit of a weird one, but I did this in yoga once. I thought it was quite nice.
We do it forward, but we don't do it backwards.
Exactly. And bring your legs back to center, drop them to the floor. Take a moment. Slide your hands to the sides of your shoulders. Carefully pick yourself up. Curve your spine. Walk your hands in, touch your toes. Lift your bottoms, walk your hands back to your feet. You're back in that forward fold. Feel a little bit easier. Grab hold of your elbows and sway side to side again. What's wrong with you, God? I've got a bit of old school cool stuff. Now release the arms to the floor. Roll yourself up with your arms forward. Always shoulder roll at the top to reset your spine. Okay, so we're going to go onto the left leg. Stop down or up. Don't mean you did anything. Tap going on. Left leg forward. So maybe get both your feet just a tad wider. Remember, this left knee now is very slightly pointing out to the corner of the mat front, so the knee and the foot are behaving. Come up onto your toes at the back. Slide the toes a little bit more. This is your starting point. Take a breath in as we drop down. Tap the floor if you can. Exhale, power straight back. So again, just make sure that knee's over your head. You're right. I was just going to back leg. You can't what?
Back leg, I'm not really bending.
So again, we don't be leaning forward. We have to have a wider stance is much better. So see if we can get a little bit wider. Here we go again. 4 more. Last one all the way down, then all the way up. Then drop halfway, or 3/4 or just about halfway. Squeeze into that left heel. 8, 7, lower. 5, 4, 3, lower. And then drop it to the floor. So grab that block, which is probably quite far away from you. Right at the front. Yeah. Slide the left foot a little bit further forward, take it out to the sides of your mat. Turn it to the corner. Slide your right leg spot back as it would go. Then open the knee out and rotate on the ankle if you wish. And then let's go to that hip flexor stretch. You might want to drop your elbows. You might want to set your hands wherever you are. We think about that spine extending. And then bend the elbows and sinking down. So try and get a straight spine, not a curved over spine. Breathe into it. 2 more breaths. Now, if you're down on your elbows and back up with your hands onto your block, move the foot in a little bit. Feel free to grab another block or stay in a narrow stance. Tuck your toes under on that right knee. Lift the leg. Slide back and come to the plank. Hold your plank for a brief moment. So if you need to, lift your hips up to bring that left leg forward. Lengthen plank or stay completely isolated. 1. Push it forward. 2. Option. Drop down to the shin briefly. Swing it back to 3. But I want, look at this as a hip mobility. So don't make it easy. Don't just slide your knee to there. Come back. Bring it as far around as you possibly can. 4 more. 4. Strong on the tummy. 3. I get slightly forward. 2. Last 1. Swing the leg back. And then drop your knees. Back into that child pose with your arms extended forward. Try and tuck yourself down into ball. This isn't for you. Or you could drop your elbows here and curve your spine instead. And then you can hold that block. Swing your feet around, come to your bottoms. I'm going to grab the other one. So grab the other one, just so it's close by. Hinge. Drop your elbows. Might should play with it and adjust it. Ooh. So we want to think about the squeeze the shoulder blades, elevation of the chest, abs engaged. Simply point the toes, lift your left leg up, and drop it down. And the right. So we're just activating the lower abs. It should feel nice and easy, yeah? We're just warming up. Yes. Rest. 2 minutes. Use this as an opportunity to stretch your hamstring. And then lift up a little bit more on the chest. I just realised it's all women but one. I know, I said it earlier. I know, it's teaching my math class. It's changed, shuffled. Yeah. Okay, this time, left leg up. Right leg up. Bend the knee. Pull yourself out of your chest. Now I could actually lift my arms briefly and I'm still here. So that's how much your core needs to play a part. You're just using that to get a little bit more elevation in the chest. And then extend one leg, tap down, pull it back in. Dorsiflex, back in. If this isn't for you, the option is to drop one leg and just do one leg in and out at a time. It's an easy option. Otherwise, keep alternating. If you are doing one leg, pop it over now. Otherwise, keep going. We're doing 8 more. Lift the chest, squeeze the tummy. Imagine as you extend your leg, your tummy has to control the whole move. So it's kind of wanting to pull you away, but you're squeezing in to stop it. 3, 2, 1 more. And then kick those legs up to the sky, straighten and hold. Lift up tall through the chest. 5, 4, lift your chest. And release. So the feet together. Knees out, so just take a little rock. Side legs away. Bring yourself hands to the floor. Lift yourself out. I want you to grab one block. Put your arms to the side. Bend your knees. Slide the block to your feet flat to the ground. Head and shoulders down. Arms relaxed down by your side. Slide your shoulder blades under. And we're going to slowly inhale. Lift your bottom and roll up into a bridge. Squeezing the block between the thighs. Your feet kind of sit at the same, about the same distance as your hips, maybe even your knees. If you feel you want to bring them in a bit closer, do so. Lift the hips. We're going to extend the left leg so it stays in line. So have a look at my body. We lift the hips and we pulse that right buttock, hips up and down. 8, squeeze this block. 7, 6, 5, come on, squeeze it, 4, 3, 2, one more. And then drop that foot back down. Take a brief moment, either with your buttocks on the floor or your hips stay in the air. Oh, I'm losing my block. Breath in, left leg stays fixed to the ground. Extend your right leg forward. Lift the hips first of all. Let's go. Push it up and down. 12, 11. Fire up that left buttock. Come on, press it. Keep going. Last 7, 6, 5. Get higher. 4, 3, 2, one more. And return the foot. Lift the hips up. Squeeze the block. And roll it out. Hit the floor, keep that block where it is, and slide your arms to T shape. So I'm going to give you 2 options here. You can keep the block where it is, or you can change its position if you wish. I don't know whether I can see you, Anthony, but I don't know whether you're actually holding your weight between your legs. You need to find something to put between your legs. Tabletop. You can either drift side to side, so my legs just brush the floor, and then we squeeze the belly to lift the legs up, and then drop to our side. If you want to try this movement, with a slightly shorter range, but more challenge, take the block up here between your ankles, and then work as a pendulum. So I'm not dropping all the way down to the ground, unless you feel you can. But my abs want to resist. So I hold the position till my abs have had enough, and I lift those legs back up again. Whatever one wants to be. Take your eye gaze the opposite way to your legs. So you're now mobilizing more into the spine. Time on to 10 to remember, slower the better. 4 more. When you've done your last one, swing your legs up into the center. If your block is like mine, take it back between the thighs so everyone's here at a 90-degree angle. Inhale, tap the toes to the floor. Exhale, pull the legs back. Inhale, tap. Exhale. And if this is too much, start from the bottom, pull the legs in and drop the feet down for a brief moment. Makes it a lot easier. Otherwise, just tap back in. So if your starting point is on the floor, it's easier. If your starting point is up above, it's harder. Tap it down. 6 more. 6. In. This one's a little bit faster, guys. Come on. 5. And up. 4. Squeeze the block. 3. Activate those inner thigh muscles. 2. One more. And on this one, we lift the legs up and we carefully drop the legs to the right. The block acts as a really nice support position for the hips. Keeps your hips aligned. So your actual rotation to the side can go a little bit further because of that. There's no pulling in your lower back. And then just open out that left shoulder. You can catch that top thigh and breathe into the rotation as we drop the left shoulder blade and plant it into the ground. Let's deep breath. Release the thigh, abs engaged. Slowly lift those legs back up to the middle. Take a pause. And then let them drop over to the left. So this time the right shoulder blades on the ground. You can take hold of that top thigh with your left hand. Deep breaths. Now release the arm. Keeping the legs engaged. Lift those legs top to center. Slide your hands behind the back of the thighs. Pull your thighs in towards you to get a little bit of stretch to your lower back. And then roll yourself seated. This is a good opportunity to use your blocks. So if you know that you're very tight in your hamstrings and inner thighs, sit yourself on a block or put 2 blocks together and sit yourself on, or a cushion, something that elevates you by about 2 inches at least. Then take your legs as wide as they will go. So if you're siding into the mirror, you can see what your back's doing. You may think you've got straight back, but it might be slightly curved. Our feet press up towards the sky. Mine like to do that. Most people like to do that. And see how they feel. Lift up tall and lift your arms up and slide your fingers together and straighten your arms up by the sides of your ears. We're lifting through the spine and we're reaching our body forward with our eye gaze up. So we're not doing this. We are reaching up high and lengthening our bodies forward. Now press your heels away, toes to the sky. Don't let your arms drop forward. Take them back. Inhale, lift back up towards in the middle. Exhale, go forward again. Reach, reach. And then carefully, now bring your hands to the ground. Softly look down to the floor, let your spine soften. Reach your arms as far forward as they will go. And then catch hold of your feet or legs. Now, if your feet naturally turn outwards, I want you to catch around the outside of your calves. If your feet, like mine, turn inwards, I want you to catch around the insides of the calves. Or if you can, catch your feet. Keeping the feet, they're parallel up towards the sky. So if they're turning out, bring them in. Now, lift and lengthen up through that spine, strong spine extension, and then drop your hinges down. Get as wide as you can in those legs, lengthen, lengthen. Might get yourself back up on that block. It will get your spine in a better position. That's it. Honestly, it's so important you use a block if you tighten your hamstrings. So important. It makes a massive difference to the stretch. You get yourself in a block, you might even get your toes. Take a breath in, lift it up and lengthen. Exhale, fold one more time. Auntie's favourite stretch, right? And then begin to slowly roll up. Bring your hands under your knees, fold them in. Slide your hands onto your shins and just lift up tall. We're going to stretch those buttocks. We're going to go into a seated hurdle stretch. So we're going to start with the right leg. So the right leg's going to fold in and the left one's just going to spin around behind you. So kind of a 90-90, I guess, on the legs. And then we simply drop down, front leg, find your stretch on the right buttock. You might want to lean further in towards the foot. You might need to go further towards the knee. You might need to slide that foot and take it further up your mat. Mark, you can slide your foot further towards me. And breathe. And then simply come up. And we're going to just turn our knees the other way. So you face away in the direction. Then adjust your legs accordingly and then just drop down into your stretch. So remember, the further you can take that foot higher up so it gets more to a right angle on the knee, the more you'll get the stretch. Any pain or things, don't do it. And then walk your way back up. Feet back, turn your knees back this direction, and then adjust yourself back onto your hands and knees. Tucking the toes under, lift up, walk back to his feet. Take hold of your big toes. Bend your knees enough to get a full, strong grip. Drop your chest down to your thighs and then extend. Use the grip of your arms to go deeper into the stretch. Your arms play a more important role than anything, so you need to take a really firm grip. Use the strength of your arms to stretch. Get those knees as straight as you can go. Drop the chest a little bit lower, chin drops a little bit. And then slide your hands up to the top of the kneecap, bend your knees, look forward and lengthen out through the spine. Pull your shoulders back. Squeeze them together. Squeeze your shoulder blades, elbows point up towards the sky. And then softly drop into that curve of the spine, roll it up. Head rush again. Take a few shoulder rolls. Open the arms and then inhale the arms up, bring them together with that beautiful soften the knee, flat back, straight bow, lift back up, reach the arms up high, and then bring them all the way down by your side. Shoulder roll for the last time. Hands together, give yourself a pat. Ladies and gentlemen, more ladies than gentlemen. Thank you very much.